Hello, everyone. So today I am thrilled to share with you this tool that I cannot take for granted now because I've used it for so long. This is the very first self-discovery tool that I came across maybe like 12, 15 years ago that literally changed my life. Um, but I was reminded of it this week, and this is a tool that is so useful. So if you know it already, great. This video hopefully will bring you new little insights or maybe a new way to look at it. And it's always a good reminder. And if you've never heard about it before, oh my God, this may very well change your life like it did mine. Okay, enough with the suspense here. This tool that I'm talking about is the Drama Triangle from Stephen Karpman. Oof, amazing, amazing. So here it is. This drama triangle is basically the roles that we play in life. More often than not, unconsciously. That's the thing, because as soon as we become aware of those roles that we play, then this can change, right? Because change only happens with what? With self-awareness. You know, this is what those videos are all about, helping you become more aware, to be able to make conscious choices and make some changes. So here it is. You know, I'm very visual, so I like to show you this little thing that I've prepared for you about this drama triangle. Here it is. So in the drama triangle, we have three roles that we like to play and change. We're not only always playing the same role: the persecutor, the victim, and the rescuer. So we're not going to go into too much depth and too much psychology around that. You can find so much information about this online if you want to dive deeper into it. But briefly here, this is what it is. The persecutor persecutes, right? Usually out of anger, is aggressive, domineering. It's all your fault. The persecutor is going to blame the victim. And what's interesting about the persecutor is that usually there's a fear of their own victimhood, right? The persecutor may have very well and often has been a victim at some point and is now rejecting it. Hence the aggressive behavior. But again, we're not going to dive too much into that here, but it is important to know because kind of all those rules are based on fear, right? If we're caught up into a drama, most likely it's not out of love. There's some fear here. So that's an interesting also aspect of this to know. The victim, poor me, the victim usually is helpless, needy, and there is a fear of taking their own responsibility. And the rescuer, oh wow, the rescuer, poor you, let me help. So the rescuer is an enabler, usually self-sacrificing, and there is a fear, unconscious fear of not being needed. So the rescuer kind of needs to be needed. So this is really to help you understand that all those roles feed into each other. And all those roles need each other. So I really wanted to share this with you. Let me come back here with you for a second, because we live in a world where we tend to value our heroes a lot, right? And I personally find myself quite a lot more as a victim. That's the role I was playing unconsciously until I was aware of it. And rescuer is the role that I get to be aware and get to go often, and I need to watch that, to be mindful of that. There is this thing where, that's why I really wanted to share you this, to kind of deconstruct and kind of really bring a new set of eyes on this. There is not one role that is better than another, and that's why it's very important to understand that they're all based on fear and they all feed into each other. So it's not better to be a rescuer than being a persecutor. It's exactly the same thing. Yes, it is exactly the same thing. Being aware of that kind of changes everything. Yes, it does. When I was first aware of this, I removed myself from the victim role. So another point I wanted to share here with you is, how do I do that? How do I stop being a victim? And I first prepared other drawings and things to tell you what to do. Instead of this, you should be doing that. I don't want to be playing your rescuer here. It's kind of not the point. And I want to keep it very simple, because there is nothing really to do. And remember, those videos that I'm making here is really my own journey and what helps me. And the thing that really does it for me is self-awareness. That's it. And then the tools and the changes and then the decisions, you will figure them out on your own. This is the idea. I find by being aware of it, by simply becoming the observer, this is what's happening. When I became the observer, that I was a victim, and I started to observe my relationship from a step back or above, can take a step above, already energetically some shifts are happening. That's it. By that piece alone, by being aware. So I invite you with this video not to try to make changes, right? It's not so much about that. It's just to be aware. Ask yourself which role you may be playing right now in your relationship. It can be with your partner, it can be with your kids, it can be family dynamics are beautiful to practice this self-awareness piece, because this is usually where it all starts, all those roles that we take on. So if it's not so easy to see in your friendships and daily relationship, family dynamics are a beautiful, beautiful way to be mindful of that. And as soon as you identify the role that you find yourself playing, just the awareness of that and the awareness of how your role feeds onto the other two, and they all need each other in a way to continue this drama, just the awareness of that, I find, is so powerful, because already energetically you're removing yourself from the stage. You're not really an active participant in the drama triangle anymore. You're kind of more in the audience, observing. So just by doing that observation piece and that awareness piece, energetically a shift is happening within the triangle. So I spend so much time and energy trying to figure out what I should do and say instead to get out of the triangle. And I find it's actually more easy than that. You can just take a step back and become the observer. By becoming the observer with non-judgment, with not trying to accomplish anything, you observe, and then your perception starts to shift. And by doing that alone, you might be surprised. Let me share this with you here. Yes. Let's say you become the observer. You're not so much the victim anymore. You're becoming, and that's actually what happened to me in my very first practical example. I became aware, self-aware, that I was playing that role. And just by observing and being aware of that, some energetic shift happened within the triangle. And what was very interesting is that I could observe the shift that the persecutor confused, right? Because that was not really, nothing energetically was sticking with me and happening with me. I could not play that role of victim anymore. The persecutor started to persecute the rescuer. How cool was that? It was subtle and so powerful. And the rescuer became confused and started to become the victim. So those two roles started to play the other one too, and to find a victim. And that was so beautiful to watch. And it was also a very eye-opening moment to realize that being aware is all that needed. More often than not, is all that needed. And then I can make conscious choices. I can choose to step into the role, right? Like sometimes it's so uncomfortable when I want to rescue. I'm like, let me play the rescuer role here. I like to be needed. Okay. But the difference is I get to do it consciously. I get to be aware of what it is that I'm doing and be responsible in that way. And then if I want out of the drama, out. And then I really invite you with this video to have fun. You know, I'm all about having fun, right? Not so much into making things dramatic. There is a good subject, dramatic. Well, we have enough of that. And that's what we do. We create drama all the time. So have fun observing. If you remove yourself from one of those roles just by being aware of it, what happens? And observe the other people in that triangle. Observe them. And maybe you, by doing that, that's going to help. Let's say I get out of the rescuer role. That might help the victim. You might observe the victim trying to find a way to rescue herself or himself. Or you might find that the persecutor, right, loses interest and find someone else maybe to you will observe shifts in their ways too, by you doing the change, by you becoming the observer and removing yourself from the drama of life, this triangle. Some amazing shift will happen. I really encourage you to observe and have fun with this without having to do anything. Just be mindful, be aware, because we all play those roles. It's part of the human experience. We all do it. But now you get to have fun doing it and be mindful and aware, right? Okay, I hope this was helpful, a good refresher, or something completely new that you learned. Awesome. And have fun exploring that beautiful, beautiful drama triangle that we enter into. All right. Take care, everyone, and I will see you when I'll see you for another video. Bye-bye.